Hi, this is Brandon from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about an exercise called the Goblet Step Up. This is a great unilateral training option. You can put your training programs for your clients. I really like it as a very good intro exercise for single leg work for many of your clients. The big thing is we got to learn how to teach how to push and make sure that we're not using too much of the calf. We've got to push to stand up on the box. It also helps work on a little bit of balance and coordination for some of your older clientele. So for some of your geriatrics, this might be a really good place to start them in terms of their single leg stance stuff. I've got a box here that's 16 inches. The great thing about this exercise is that it's super adaptable towards your client. So as long as you've got like an adaptable sized box, or you're using something to step on that you can easily change the height, it's pretty much adaptable for any of your clients based upon the restrictions, and make sure that you're getting some good quality lower body work in with a very low injury risk. I would say to make sure that your client's stability and overall balance is at least decent, that they understand that they're going to potentially be on one leg. So if that's something you're worried about, then you might go to a split squat or something with a little bit of rack assistance. But if they can get that down, then they're probably ready for this single leg variation. Now, obviously you can load this up relatively heavy too for just your average Joe and trainee, so don't think that this is something for sissy people. You can definitely get some good quality progress from this exercise as well. What I really ideally was going to happen is that we're going to have a box where we have a 90-degree angle at our hip and our knee. That's a good height to what we want to try to get to. Obviously, if you're working with somebody that's newer and more of a beginner, then like we said, you're going to have that low height to where that box is going to get a little lower, and we obviously don't have that 90-degree angle at the hip anymore. That's entirely okay. That's just the goal that we're kind of aiming for. So once we have our box height set, that's where I know I'm going to be. Then from the loading position is the goblet. So I prefer loading this exercise with the goblet because when the dumbbells are down here by the side, we can kind of swing them to help get us up on the box. And then we're basically just working the latter portion of knee extension, and that's not really exactly what all we're after. We're really kind of trying to get this hip extension involved as well as the knee extension. So think of this as a very good way to load up both joints, but we want to make sure that we're doing it appropriately. So the goblet position here is going to make sure that I'm staying in a good tall position and kind of gets my abs turned on a little bit in terms of having the load out in front. And also, like I said, make sure that we're not going to swing. So once I'm here, got that in position, I want to make sure that my foot that's on the box, I'm going to try to pull it up with my heel, okay? We're not going to try to push off that back leg. Like I said, that's not the goal of the exercise. Obviously, to some extent, we are going to have to push off to go, but we want to focus on pulling with the top leg rather than pushing off with the back. So got the weight here. I'm going to try to pull with my foot, pull down. Good control when we come back. Pull through the heel on your step up. Now, as we step up, we want to ensure that this knee that's doing the work, or the leg that's doing the work, that we're not going to have the knee cave in. So if we look at this from a front angle, we want to make sure that the knee is not going to come this way, and we start using an adductor. And we want to make sure our hips are good and strong. We keep this in good neutral position straight out in front. So if you get this too heavy, or with a young youth female athlete, you might see some little bit of knee caving. Just make sure you coach it up. They feel their whole foot when they go to step. So a bad rep would look like this, and a good rep, make sure that's kind of almost turned out so we get the glute involved here working hard, and then back down. Relatively simple, but some big coaching cues I think a lot of people miss out on. I think starting your athletes off with a lighter load first to make sure they understand that concept of pulling through the heel. And then, like I said, if you're working with more geriatric or older populations, start with a low box, slowly build up some confidence and stability, and they'll be good to go. I like this for 3 to 4 sets of anywhere 6 to 10 reps per leg. The big thing you got to keep in mind is that obviously you got to do both legs. And at some point, some conditioning can begin to be a factor. You know, if you go heavy enough, it can really be a lot of work. If you're looking at 20 steps on a set, you're looking at 60 reps, not only is that time consuming, but also we got to think about what our goals are with our clients. So if you get somebody trying to lose weight, that might be a great option. Somebody trying to improve general strength, that might be a little bit too much work for that given exercise. So just keep that in mind. If you have any questions, feel free to in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.